Welcome to Monday Night Chat episode 42. As you know, the P104 office has been extremely busy writing the alternative budget 2018. We basically every day is just sitting down, looking at documents, writing, doing research. This is a pile of documents we have to go through. What I do is I come to the office about 9 o'clock, sit down right until lunch, have a break, and then continue that until about 4. Then Sean, who is now assisting me, is going to tidy up most of the notes and then send me a sort of cleaner copy. And at 8 o'clock to 12 at home, I'll write the remaining. We've been doing this for close to about 14 days now. And as you can see, I'm exhausted. So is the staff. And that's the reason why we have very little Facebook postings of late. Okay? So let's go on to Monday Night Chat.
Monday Night Chat with Wong Chen.
Brought to you by the Member of Parliament for Kelana Jaya in collaboration with Invo.
Policy Monday this week is going to be, surprise, surprise, on the fiscal policy that we're drafting. So as you know, in every government budget, they have two major components. The first one is revenue and the other side is expenditure. So for the alternative budget, we are now writing the revenue aspect. Okay? So I'm just going to brief you what types of taxes or revenues do government collect, and they are actually broken down in a systematic manner in an accounting framework. So let's just deal with the tax revenue from direct tax. Yeah, direct tax in the easiest explanation is basically income tax. Yeah, so income tax, there are three major categories. You got individual income tax, which most of you should be paying. Second is corporate tax, which all the big corporations pay. And then you got the petroleum income tax, which is what Petronas pays to the government. Petronas also pays other things, but let's just focus now for this moment at income tax. As you all know, the IRB has been extremely, I wouldn't say vigilant, but extremely hardworking to collect more tax from the people. So a core issue that we want to deal with in the alternative budget is to stop or to ask IRB to take a breather and not to squeeze blood out from rock from the people. People are already suffering from GST, stagnating economy. So our policy is going to differ a little bit with IRB. And also we have to look at the basic issue about IRB powers. In Parliament, I've debated many times on this issue, that they cannot have all this unfettered superpower to ask you to pay first, then you can appeal later. I mean, that kind of thing has no natural justice. It may be efficient for IRB, for the Inland Revenue Board, but it's not fair to the people. Our policy is going to be based on this idea of nudge economics, behavioral economics, where we nudge people along to pay their tax. And most importantly, if we do get to rule Malaysia next year after the GE14, then what we want to do is we want to improve governance so that people feel that they are paying value for money, their tax to us. Therefore, income tax collection should increase. The rate of income tax stays the same, just that people are more happier to pay their full tax. So that's on income tax. Other tax considered direct tax is RPGT, stamp duty. That's all to do with property, and property market is very low at the moment. Let's move on to the issue of indirect tax. Indirect tax, you have basically four major categories. The big one is of course GST, and Pakatan Harapan is against GST. We're going to eliminate GST, go back to the old calculation of SST, which is basically we will see a fall of 24 billion. But let me address that in a separate matter. How do we cover this 24 billion? I just want to assure everybody, just by doing the accounting properly, by improving on collection, by improving on systems and governance, we can easily offset the loss of 24 billion. Right? Now, export duty, import duty, excise duty. Excise duty is a big issue because in Malaysia, cars are considered a sin to have a car. Excise duty usually deals with alcohol and tobacco, but in Malaysia, we have same taxes for cars as well. Now, the last category is what we call non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue comes from this idea of giving licenses to people, where people have to pay permits. AP, premium, royalty, motor vehicle licenses, levy and foreign workers are your standard ones. But the other big component that most of the government avoid to discuss is really interest and return on investments. Now that one has to do with the performance of GLC, GLIC, what we call development financial institutions, DFIs that government own. They are underperforming, and as a result, we are not collecting the full amount of revenue. We are just collecting probably about 20 to 30% only. So a change of government will see results in better performance of GLICs and GLCs and also DFIs, and therefore we think that we can actually balance the whole thing. Now, why do we do this fiscal exercise of revenue? We do it to send a simple message that we intend to tax less on people, yeah, and next week when we discuss expenditure, how we intend to spend it wisely. That's it for Policy Monday this week. Okay, Q&A this week. This week, as usual, we have 3 questions. The first question comes from Eddie Gunn. Okay, and it's a bit unusual because the question is about what will happen to Malaysia if there's a war between North Korea and US. Well, if that war happens, there's a big possibility it could be a thermonuclear war. So the first one since the 1945 bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. I can't imagine what that will happen, but on economic terms, you will see definitely the collapse of the entire Asian stock markets, including Malaysia. Yeah, so that could have really, really negative implication. On the military side, I don't think there'll be any form of invasion, because invasion will trigger, Kim Jong-un to use nuclear weapons. So what you might see is the mobilization of Chinese military coming down into North Korea to support North Korea, and the mobilization of American soldiers into the South Korean peninsula. Lots of tension, but I just hope we have 2 crazy person in charge. One is Trump and one is Kim Jong-un. I just hope that Trump, being the bigger superpower, will exercise greater restraint, because causing a financial crisis or even a social war crisis in that North Asia region is not the way to rebuild and make America great again. Now, question number 2 comes from Singham from USJ. He asked, what is my opinion about Paul Lau? Paul Lau, as you know, is the integrity minister in the Prime Minister Department, and he's supposed to table the political donation bill in the upcoming budget session. What's my view? I have not seen the bill, so I would reserve my comment on the bill. I think the bill will come short on many issues, because I don't imagine a government like Najib's administration that is so poor on governance will actually pass a bill that is logical to help a political donation. Furthermore, Paul Lau, Integrity Minister, good for you. What have you done on 1MDB? Absolutely nothing. So, there you go. The third question is, what is my view on the laundry in Johor issue, and also the football shots in Kelantan? As you know, I come from Kelantan, and when I was living in Kelantan, as a young boy, no issues. I don't know how, from Nik Aziz's time when he was ruling, and I used to play football in Kelantan and stuff like that, no issue at all. What is this new brand of tak boleh pakai seluar pendek to play football? What are we supposed to do? Wear sarong? On Johor, congratulations to the Sultan of Johor. Very good statement on the issue about the laundry. We just hope that more politicians actually make out statements on these kind of issues. Thank you. That's it for Q&A this week.
Hey everybody, so Wong Chen says that we have got about 1 minute to 2 minutes of free airtime on Monday Night Chat. So guess what he does? He asks me and Tina to kind of show you what we do in the office. So here are the top 5 things we tend to do in the office throughout the week. Hit it, Tina.